watch though, because I'm afraid of heights and I can't get into that stuff. But it should be an awesome spectacle.
That is going to be so much fun, Chris.
It will be.
I would be very scared to go in it too, but to watch, all about it,
Yes.
all about it. Well, how's it going, bosses? Welcome back to your favorite show, The Truck Boss Show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell notification so you're up to date with all the latest trucker news.
And if you missed it, the Truck Boss Show won an award this weekend from the American Marketing Association for Best Video Tactics, and we are super proud of that.
Super proud of it. You guys, thank you so much for always supporting us and watching the show. We can't do it without you, like we always say at the end of the show, but
That's
we really
right.
can't do it without you.
We can't, right.
And all of your support. Well, Chris, you know what I did over the weekend?
What's that?
I know you're going to the Balloon Festival next weekend, but
Yeah.
over this weekend, and Yelika Larson has a new book coming out, and
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
think I need to read it. I was looking at her all on Instagram,
Yeah.
and she was promoting it everywhere, and I looked it up, and it looks so
Yeah,
good.
it will definitely be an interesting read, just to seeing what the Swedish trucking industry is like, and just
Yeah.
how her journey has come along from being a social media influencer. And
Yes.
it'll be awesome.
It'll be really good. She also talks about kind of being in a destructive, toxic relationship and how trucking saved her from that. And
Yeah.
she calls it a freedom ride.
I
like
love that.
her truck is a freedom ride. And
Yes.
I really liked that. I
Yes.
thought that was cool.
So, and Yelika, if you're watching,
Yes.
we need to get you back on the show so we can talk about the book.
Yes, we need to talk about the book. We need to have the book. We need to.
Need all of it.
All of it.
Yes.
All the things.
Well, guys, we've got a great show for you. Here's what we have on tap. We get a look at the F3 defense system that keeps truckers safe in a non-lethal way.
Oh, I love that. Plus, we check out ways to stay DOT compliant, especially if you're a new entrant into the trucking industry. And we also learn the history of Peterbilt Part 2, starting right where we left off in the very groovy 1970s.
Love that. So, are you ready?
Let's take a ride.
There aren't many ways for a trucker to defend themselves in case of danger, which is a sad reality for one of our nation's most important workers. With F3 Defense, you now have the option for a non-lethal way to keep yourself safe inside of your cab. Check it out.
As a truck driver, it may be a good idea to ask yourself, how would you physically defend yourself if something ever happened? It's a difficult question to tackle because drivers cannot carry any kind of weapon on them in their truck, yet they're constantly in danger of crowds of people in protests, midnight thefts at truck stops, and even held at gunpoint in the worst cases. It seems that the most protection a driver has is the door between them and whatever threat may be directly on the other side. Mike Mercer, a former law enforcement officer, has developed a non-lethal pepper spray defense mechanism for trucks.
About 2.5 years ago, I started the company after what I saw, with the unrest that was going on around the United States and really around the world, and particularly to truck drivers. I'm a retired police officer, and my experience is with use of non-lethal force to protect yourself. So I said, let's design a system where the truck driver can be safely inside the truck and be able to deploy pepper spray all the way around the exterior of their cab.
And so the truck stop system was born. Powered by Mace pepper spray, this system was specifically designed for big rigs.
The truck stop system, powered by Mace, is really, it doesn't have a fin. What it does, it's a system that's designed to use 2 of these cans. So we give you 2 of these. I don't want you getting out in the middle of the road and then having to use it, then not have any protection at all on the way home until you get some new ones. So we want to give you backup. So you get 2 of these. The firewall between the motor and the passenger compartment, there's a whole bunch of different grommet holes there, right? So you pull one of these through, and then I give you a T-hose that splits it to both doors, and you run it up the side of the doors. It comes with instructions. It's super easy. And then the other hose runs underneath the whole cab, and then you tie it down and place it to that whole area. Because when you hit this button, it's going to put pepper spray in the air about 15 to 18 feet all the way around you. So it's really going to saturate the area to make sure nobody stays there and allows you to escape.
But even without all the gadgets and gizmos, there are some tips that every driver should know in order to position themselves to be as safe as possible.
be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's going on around you. Try to pay attention. Okay, I'm coming into 10 hours. Where am I going to stop now? You know, what's the best location for me? And I know a lot of you guys have your routine down, but some of them don't. You know, some of them are on different runs all the time. Layer your protection. You want to stop the bad guy before the bad guy gets to you. This is the equation I've always used, Chris. Time plus distance equals safety. You put enough time and distance between you and a bad guy, you're going to be safe.
You can never be too safe while on the road, especially when you're on the way home to see the ones that you love most. So buckle up, stay aware of your surroundings, and we'll see you down the road. Nikki, what you got for us?
As a driver, keeping compliant with the FMCSA is just as important as finding loads to haul. And we all know if you're new to being an independent owner-operator, you'll need to pass the new entrant DOT audit within the first 12 months of receiving your operating authority. But don't worry, we've got your back. Here are some of the best ways to get ready for your audit.
Rules, regulations, paperwork, and requirements can be daunting when it comes to preparing for the new entrant audit. The good thing is there are several steps you can take ahead of time, which will take a lot of the stress away. First, create a compliance plan. Like a business plan, a compliance plan will help you keep track of all the steps, forms, and requirements you must meet in order to pass your new entrant audit. And remember to always keep proper records starting from day one. Here are some of the regulatory requirements that must be in place within the first 30 days of operation. Second, become familiar with the 7 areas of DOT scrutiny, known as the Behavior, Analysis, and Safety Improvement categories, BASIC for short. Safety management violations can ground you as surely as engine trouble. It's not uncommon to be placed out of service while compliance issues are being resolved. The DOT will require you to have policies in place and to document any issues regarding these categories. Third, always stay on top of your paperwork. Try to do a little bit every day and not allow it to pile up at the end of each month. Forgetting to record your mileage or the number of hours worked on the road could cost you your license, so get into the habit of recording everything as soon as it happens. Lastly, make sure to hire compliant drivers if you plan on having others drive for you. As an owner-operator, you are responsible for your driver's compliance. Take time to train them on your procedures so your compliance paperwork is clear and consistent. The DOT requires a solid driver hiring policy. Driver hiring is one of the most important decisions you'll make. A driver's performance, good or bad, will remain on your CSA scores for 24 months. Verify that driver prospects have these key attributes. So, how will you be rated? The good news is the new entrant DOT audit is either pass or fail. If you fail, your auditor will review your scoring with you and provide instructions on how to correct it. You're typically provided 30 days to submit your corrective action plan, or CAP for short. A CAP is your only means to respond to deficiencies discovered during your new entrant DOT audit.
You probably went into trucking to haul loads and provide for your family, right? If you need help documenting your compliance with the FMCSA and DOT, you should consider outsourcing these tasks to a reputable provider like TBS. Visit truckersbookkeepingservice.com for more information, and rest assured you'll pass your new entrant DOT audit without a hitch. What do you have on your end, Brittany?
Picking up right where we left off, we take a look at the second part of Peterbilt's history and how it became the brand that we all love today. Check out part 2 of The History of Peterbilt, Truck Legend.
The 1970s was a time of bell-bottoms, disco, and economic and cultural struggle. But with that came technological advancements and the growth of the trucking industry. Pacific Car and Foundry Company, which acquired Peterbilt in the late 1950s, officially changes its name to what we now know as PACCAR. The 1980s was welcomed by a move to Denton, Texas, to a new manufacturing facility for Peterbilt, and the special cab-over model 362 was created. In 1986, the unmistakable and iconic Model 379 was introduced and will go on to become the most popular owner-operator truck of all time, not to mention a staple at truck shows. So, why do people love the 379 so much? Like its predecessor, the 359, the 379 was built with an aluminum cab and bunk, making it the lightest rig on the market. The 379 also featured the classic long-nosed hood and improved turning radius that was superior to its competition. The 1990s and early 2000s for Peterbilt brought in mid-sized rigs and the first rig that was designed as environmentally friendly, the Model 386. Also during the 2000s, Peterbilt ditched its classic square nose for a more rounded nose, and PACCAR created the MX engine, bringing a new level of efficiency and performance. From 2010 to today, PACCAR has led the way in aerodynamics and fuel savings efficiency by creating multiple versions of the MX engine, creating the tandem axle, and updating its transmissions with integrated powertrain technology. Peterbilt the brand celebrated its 80th anniversary in 2019, and Peterbilt's Texas manufacturing plant celebrated its 40th anniversary in 2020. A rich history of the beautiful rigs that stand the test of time.
Oh my gosh, Chris, I love learning about the history of Peterbilt. It was so fun to learn from when it started all the way to where it is today.
It's so cool seeing like how they became one of the most iconic brands in the trucking industry.
Super iconic. All the truck shows we go to, Peterbilts. There's lines and lines of custom Peterbilts. We love them. Love, love, love. Well, we want to thank TBS Factoring for sponsoring this episode of Truck Boss Show.
That's right. TBS can help enroll you into an accredited random drug screen consortium program and get all the needed items for the motor carrier to manage the program.
Ooh, sounds so good. If you want all of this information, please visit the link in the description box below. And on the next show, we are checking in with our friends at Truckers Against Trafficking to see what they have coming up for the new 2023 year. I can't even believe I'm saying that, Chris. 2023, woo!
And we also have an interview with Todd Sturgis. You might know him from the A&E show Shipping Wars, and we're catching up with him about what he has coming down the pipe.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see that. And we're helping you with all of the tips to winterize your rig. If you haven't done it already, don't worry, we've got your back.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because we can't do this without you and your support.
And happy Halloween!
That's right, yes. Thank you everyone for bringing all the candy to us and making it possible.
Shipping it all here for all the little munchkins to go trick-or-treating.
That's right.
And why do we do this, Chris?
Because you're the boss.
As a driver, keeping compliant, why am I saying compliant? Okay.